region pretty much invented the global energy industry beginning about 150 years ago. From coal and natural gas to commercial nuclear energy, smart grid, and even green building. Researchers remain in the forefront of developing energy solutions for today and thinking about tomorrow. Well, a few years ago, Pittsburgh's Carnegie Mellon University decided to step it up more than a little with the creation of the Wilton E. Scott Institute for Energy Innovation. The university is taking a cross-cutting, interdisciplinary approach to tackling the big energy issues facing our region, the nation, and the world. And early this year, it's focusing that thought leadership on our region itself with its first ever Energy Week. Deborah Stine is Associate Director for Policy Outreach for the Institute. Dr. Jared Cohen back with us, Director of the Scott Institute. Welcome. Good to have you both here.
Thanks.
Jared, we had you down here the last time as you were stepping down as president of Carnegie Mellon, but you've got a whole new set of responsibilities there in the Scott Institute. For people who are not familiar with it, what's the philosophy behind it? What's the Institute all about?
Yeah. Well, we're thrilled to have the Scott Institute, and we're very grateful to the Scott family, which made it possible with their gift, and the Richard King Mellon Foundation of Pittsburgh, which also supports it. As you mentioned in the introduction, our approach is to be interdisciplinary, cross-cutting, to take a collaborative approach. Energy is such a big problem and really a problem for the century, both because we're so dependent on it and because energy is really inseparable from the climate challenge. So for both of those reasons, it's a very big problem. We have a lot to contribute. Even before the Institute was created, Carnegie Mellon had a lot of faculty working on the problem, various facets of it. With the creation of the Institute and the resources we have to invest in research and teaching, what we've done is to identify a few problems out of that whole range of potential energy problems, and to use our resources to put together faculty and student groups to work on particular problems.
And so an example of what one of those few problems is that you think are really top of mind and really critical.
Well, let me just say, in choosing them, we wanted to choose areas that we thought Carnegie Mellon can make special contributions to, and being very mindful of where we are, that is Pittsburgh. And here, the Allegheny Conference, I think, did a great job of identifying the energy subsectors that we're so strong in. Coal, nuclear, gas, wind, solar, distribution, smart buildings. We're involved in all of those. But just to give you an example. So energy storage is a very hot topic. Storage is important because if you're going to use something like wind or solar, you have to recognize the sun doesn't shine at night, wind doesn't always blow. How do you store the energy that you're generating when the sun is shining so you can use it later on when it's not? That's storage, and that means batteries. One of our professors, Jay Whitaker, invented a new kind of battery. This is not batteries for cars or for devices, but stationary batteries that utilities can use to store power in. That led to the creation of a company here, Aquion, which now employs a couple hundred people in the old is that a VW factory, Sony factory
down in Westmoreland County.
That's the kind of thing that we're looking to do.
And so it really, apart from the academics, it really positions Pittsburgh from an economic development standpoint as well to be able to leverage all of this.
That's the whole idea. Do some deep research that leads to new products, new ways of doing things, improves energy, and helps Pittsburgh.
Deb, native Texan, spent most of your career inside the Beltway, working on a lot of different national things, but you were attracted here to Pittsburgh for this? What was it about what they're doing here that made it worth packing up and moving to our region?
You know, well, I think energy is the biggest challenge that we're facing, and I've worked in my time in Washington on many, many different science technology issues, but energy was always my favorite issue. It's always something that even my senior project in engineering school was focused on building solar collectors out of fluorescent light bulbs. And so I think energy is a challenge we have, and you really see progress that we've made in the past 20 or 30 years, where it won't be very long now before wind power becomes at the same cost as coal. So that would be amazing, and all within the next like 5 or 10 years. So it's really something where we have the ability to make a lot of potential and really respond to a lot of economic, environmental and workforce challenges that we have.
Yeah, and you know, what you've been doing is more than just the big policy and the big academics. You're also, there's a lot of outreach going on. I hear you all on WESA
thank you.
radio doing the Energy Bite series. Is that part of the mission as well, to do the outreach?
Right, so part of what we're trying to do is take a lot of the research that we do at Carnegie Mellon and make it very easy for the public to understand. So Energy Bite is a minute and a half program that we have on WSA. It's during Science Friday, Fridays at 2:38. It's also a podcast that people can get on iTunes. And it's a chance for people to get the answers based on research to questions like, does it make sense to put solar panels on my house, or should I do something else to try to be more energy efficient and to help the environment?
And so you're kind of bringing all of this stuff together, I guess, coming up in March with this first Energy Week you've organized, right? What's that all about?
March 14th to 18th, if I get the dates right. It's our first ever for Carnegie Mellon. We're very excited about it. Deb is the brains behind this, so I'll let her describe the specifics of it.
It's something where people don't know, like as somebody who's new to Pittsburgh, I've only been here for a couple of years, I had no idea Pittsburgh was more than coal and gas. That would have been what I would have expected. But actually, I've now been to a nuclear plant that's very close to here, within an hour's drive. There's wind farms that are also close to here. There's like window manufacturing, like at PPG for energy efficient windows. So there's all sorts of exciting things that are happening here, but I don't think even the Pittsburgh public is necessarily aware of the diversity of energy activity within the region.
Yeah, only a few seconds left, but it sounds like our region has a tremendous amount of potential in this space going forward, with Carnegie Mellon really helping to lead the way.
It really does. We've got great resources. Every energy subsector, as you pointed out, CMU, Pitt, Penn State, WVU, we all bring a lot to the table. It's a very exciting time.
All right. Dr. Jared Cohen, Director of the Scott Institute at CMU, Deb Stine, Associate Director. Thank you both so much. Really appreciate it, and good luck. We'll see you on Energy Week.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Great. Well, next up, if we build it, people may come, but just how well prepared are we to build anything right now? We'll focus on the surging demand for construction workers, especially carpenters, when our region's business returns. Stay with us.